Hey guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to this episode of Zelda News. I'm your host Bastian. Let's get to that first story. Zelda fans are always crafting real-world versions of Zelda items, weapons, and such, and this one takes the cake. This is a Hylian shield, handcrafted, carved out of wood. It's just perfect. Of course, you might want to be careful with any sort of flaming keys around, because likely it will burn up and then you'll have to go by yourself or go to this guy and have him build you a new one. But in any case, it's just beautiful. The Zelda Symphony, Symphony of the Goddesses, has had a fairly extensive tour. They've even hit some cities twice at this point. They've just added one new date to their schedule, and that's Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So if you live in Wisconsin and you haven't yet had a chance to see Symphony of the Goddesses, now's your chance. What's interesting is their website only lists up to early 2013, and I know from digging around at my local symphony's website, Portland Symphony or Oregon Symphony, I can't remember which, doing so uncovered the fact that Symphony of the Goddess is coming to my hometown in March, and that's not listed on the Symphony's website, so it might behoove you to go ahead and take a look at whatever your local Symphony's website is and see if maybe the Symphony of the Goddesses is coming to your city, and the Symphony of the Goddesses website simply just doesn't say it yet. But anyways, definitely going to Wisconsin, so if you live there, you want to check it out, now you can. Speaking of Zelda symphonies, Zelda Reorchestrated is a team of people who originally used to simply just use synthesizers or sampled sounds to sort of reorchestrate old school Zelda soundtracks to make them sound more orchestral. As time has gone on, they've started actually recording real symphonies. They've taken their arrangements and then had actual orchestras play them. And so they have been working on this project that I'm sure you all have heard about called Twilight Symphony for a very long time. It involves real symphony, a real orchestra, real choir. It sounds absolutely beautiful. Nintendo, though, caught wind of this, and for those who feel like Nintendo should just keep out of it, that's not very realistic, unfortunately. If a company owns a copyright and then they find out that somebody else is infringing on that copyright, they're going to take notice and they're likely going to shut it down, but not in this instance. In this instance, Nintendo is working with Zelda Reorchestrated to just sort of do all of the legalities, and that probably means that Nintendo will probably be getting a little bit of a financial cut because that is their legal right. But in any case, Nintendo has given it their stamp of approval and has only made a few teeny tiny little requests cosmetically for changes. So it's cool to know that Nintendo didn't just squash this when they found out about it, but instead sincerely looked for a way to legally make this viable. So that's pretty awesome. Speaking of people covering Zelda music, Lindsey Sterling was recently interviewed by IGN. Now, she does not sell her music, so she doesn't have to go through all of those hoops and hoopla and legalities, since she just provides it free of charge. She can do so and doesn't have to worry about all of that. But in any case, she's very well known in video game circles for usually covering Zelda songs, many other video game songs, Skyrim even, and things along those lines, on her violin. She does a fantastic job of it. Usually she sort of dresses up as a character from that video game universe, in this instance, Link in his blue Zora tunic. But in any case, they interviewed her, so if you're curious about her process, her favorite games, and so on, there's a link for you down below. And then our final story comes from Gen Game, who's a general gaming website. It's a sister site to Zelda Dungeon, all in the same family. And anyways, they did an article saying, why Wii U owners deserve a Zelda HD collection. And I mean, it's certainly true that in this day and age, the HD collection or HD updates of older games is definitely something that is happening because of the advent of HD. I don't necessarily know that it's absolutely needed. I mean, it sure would be cool if, like, for instance, we got a just simply an HD resolution update of, Zelda 1, The Adventure of Link, Link to the Past, even the Game Boy games. I don't really know that we necessarily need one for Ocarina of Time because that's already got its 3DS remake. Majora's Mask is likely going to be getting a 3DS remake at some point in the next year or two. So we don't really need anything along those lines. So maybe everything up to the Nintendo 64 era would be cool as an HD collection all in one disc sort of thing. I mean, I sure as heck wouldn't mind seeing Wind Waker, even the DS games, which you certainly could play on a Wii U because of the dual screen thing and the stylus and everything. It would be awesome to get HD versions of the DS Zelda games, so I think it would be cool, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. But let me know what you think. Would you really like a Zelda HD collection sort of thing for the Wii U? Let me know in the comments. So that's it for this episode of Zelda News. Of course, tomorrow is the second Nintendo News episode, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.